Alright guys, how you doing? We're gonna do some baked cheese manicotti today. Yes, or just baked manicotti. This is or manicotti, depending on how you want to say it. This is the basic cheese recipe. There are the shells, and here's the basics of our stuffing. I'm using these 4 cheeses. You can add different cheeses. I don't care. But we're gonna make a basic cheese manicotti. You know, funny story about manicotti. I was actually out to eat with this girl. I was like 20, 21 years old or something, and she ordered manicotti, and I didn't know what that was. I'd heard people say it, but I didn't know what that was. So, you know, I wait. He comes to the table, and I said, "Oh, you guys are saying manicotti. That's manicotti." I didn't know. I was like 20, 21, and I'd always heard my grandmother say manicotti, and I don't know. I guess I never saw it in a book or something and realized manicotti, but I don't know. That's it. That's my manicotti story. 32 ounces of ricotta cheese, and I just put in about 1/4 cup of Parmesan. I'm using shaved Parmesan. That just happened to be what I had in the house. You don't have to use that. Pecorino. That's a very salty cheese, a sheep cheese. Absolutely delicious. And it's really, really good in this dish. And about 1 cup of mozzarella cheese. As you can see, I'm not using measuring utensils, but seldom do I. But it was a 2-pound bag, a 2-cup bag, and I put half the bag in. Hey, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that was 1 cup of mozzarella cheese. And this is black pepper. And like I said, this is a very, very basic cheese sauce. This is the same. Cheese stuffing. This is the same thing if I was making a cheese lasagna. I would use that's parsley. I didn't have any fresh parsley, so I'm using dried parsley. I said a tablespoon. It might be a little bit more. Like I was saying, this is a basic cheese stuffing, stuffed shells, cheese lasagna, cheese shells, manicotti. Use the same thing. I'm using sea salt, and that's very forgiving. That's why I just put a little bit in there. And speaking a little bit, here's a little bit of garlic. That recipe right there says 1 tablespoon garlic. You be the judge if that's what that was. I like garlic. And a couple of eggs to hold it all together. And that's, you know, you mix that up, and that's your basic cheese lasagna, cheese shells. Obviously this cheese baked stuffed manicotti. That is, I put in here later different things you can put in here. This is the basic, and that's what I made, was just the basic. Some people put ground beef, especially this mixture with beef would be in a lasagna. You can also put chicken, spinach. My wife loves it with spinach. My son does not, so he loves this, the basic cheese one. Fresh basil, I could have put it in there. I didn't. Minced onions, if you want. I mean, go for it. You know, it's the kitchen, man. It's your kitchen. You twist these things around. Don't go. What I'm saying is not law. This is the basics. And I'm going to cover this up and refrigerate it. And I'm going to refrigerate it as long as it takes me to cook the shells. So there are the shells. And we're going to get some boiling water going. And we're going to undercook these. I'm going to cook them. Yeah, I think I put 9 minutes on the stove. The box probably says 10. Undercook them by about a minute. Yep, 9 minutes. And boiling water, very salted, heavily salted water, as salty as the sea, as they say. And they're done. As a matter of fact, they could have gone under, and they could have gone another minute under. And we're just going to cool those off. Something I never do with pasta is rinse it off, and I did with this. And we're going to stuff them with that stuffing mixture now. It's cold, you know, out of the refrigerator. I'm using a tablespoon to stuff these. This first 2, I didn't use that. See how there's cheese everywhere? You know when you cut you shove the cheese in a plastic bag and you cut the corner off, and it's usually like a pastry bag? Yeah, I did that, but I had those sealable bags that are, you know, stand-up bags. You know, like a seam on the bottom, and they fold out. And I cut one corner off. And I used it on the first 2, but by the third one, the other corner blew out. So when I went to go squeeze it in there, like with all my might, it was a cheese volcano. Coming out, the other corner busted, and then it was yeah. Anyway, I had that on video, but I chose not to put that in here because you can use a spoon. So I'm using a spoon. You just you know, fill it about halfway on one side, flip that puppy around, and start filling it on the other side. I think I showed you that. And that's it. That's just as easy. I mean, I went through that bag stuff, and yeah, it didn't, you know, maybe it'll work for you. I don't know. Didn't work for me. I had the wrong kind of bag, I guess. But this is the procedure. And voila. Eventually you have them all done. And that's a good feeling. It really didn't take that long. And when you get a lasagna pan, and we're going to use my sauce, which I didn't put how to make the sauce in this recipe. There's another video for that. If you'd like, you can go to my channel. That's the same sauce. That's the sauce I made. That's the sauce I always make. That's the sauce I'm making tonight. And we're just going to put a thin coat on the bottom of the pan and line them up. And if you were doing stuffed shells, you would have done everything exactly the same as I just did so far. You would have undercooked the shells by a minute, stuffed them with a spoon, put them in, take a lasagna pan, put a thin coat of sauce on the bottom of it, and put the shells in it. This is manicotti. We're doing it this way. If you were doing lasagna, you would have undercooked the pasta, put a lasagna pan with one thin layer of sauce, put the one layer of pasta down, same filling, another layer of pasta, another layer of sauce, another layer of cheese, same thing. I'll do a lasagna one day. I don't know, but this my son loves manicotti for some reason. To me, you know, I don't know. And usually when you see manicotti, you'll see it with this amount of sauce on it because people. I like a lot of sauce, so I wasn't going for aesthetics here. I was going for flavor, and it's my sauce, and I really enjoy it. So I put a little extra sauce on there, and more sauce, and more sauce. And it's ready for the oven. Now we're going to cook it twice. We're going to put it in a 400-degree oven, and we're going to put it in there for 20 minutes. See the camera moving around like that because we're having an earthquake? Just kidding, we weren't. 20 minutes. Oh, look at it. The sauce is bubbling. And they're half cooked because we're going to cook them again. But we did the 20 minutes, and we're going to pull them out, and we're going to put a layer of mozzarella on top. If you wanted to put some other cheeses on top, you know, more Parmesan, I don't care. I just put a little mozzarella. I actually thought I put Parmesan on here too, but when I do these voiceovers, this is like 2 weeks after I've made this. So, and I haven't really watched it all that much before I started voiceovering. And another 20 minutes at the same 400 degrees, and there you go. That is done. And that is delicious. Oh yeah. Like I said, my son's favorite. My daughter Beth likes them too. My wife will eat anything. But there you go. We served them with meatballs, salad, bread. And there's the inside of it. Those meatballs, I was trying to make a video of making those while I was making this, and I forgot to film half of it, so that's why. You just got to take my word for it. I made the meatballs. And that is the lasagna. I mean, manicotti, my friends. See how easy I did that? It's almost said lasagna. Hey, listen. This is delicious. Give it a shot. And thanks for coming by. And as usual, you guys absolutely rock. Hi guys. Just want to say a quick thank you for watching the videos. Please subscribe, like, and share if you enjoyed them. And please come back for the next one.